Hi everybody, welcome to Friendship Shaving. Thank you for joining me today for a straight razor shave, and I'm going to answer some questions that have been put to me in the last week. So the razor I have got today is my big beast of a Wade & Butcher, and I will be using that today. I'll be using my little badger brush with a Declaration grooming soap, and this is a little sample of their sellout soap that was kindly sent to me by Craig, and I've lathered that up in a bowl and I'm about ready to go. So the sellout by Declaration Grooming is a lovely scented soap. It is a clone, if that is the right word, of Aventus by Creed, and it is a lovely, lovely scented soap. It's really fresh in the opening notes, and I'm picking up some blackcurrant and pineapple, I think. Certainly the pineapple is there. Not that you can smell it as such, but it gives that kind of fruity lift to the soap. Smells a little almost smoky as well. Very, very, very lightly, but very, very nice soap. So because I had the sample, I was trying not to use too much, and that was a mistake, I feel. I think I've got enough soap for a shave, but I certainly do not have huge amounts of lather. So we'll be going very carefully today. I just use the tips of this brush just to get round and work my bristles. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. As many of you will know if you like Creed Aventus. A very expensive cologne. I was just looking online at the Creed website, and their 50ml bottle is £174. And personally, I love these shaving soaps that are able to mimic those scents. I should stress that I've never used Creed Aventus. I only know the scent from these type of soaps, but it's glorious, this soap. This is a milk steak base, and includes bison tallow, so I'm expecting good things in today's shave now. Got my lovely Wade & Butcher. I resharpened this a while ago. It had gone past stropping. I needed to take it to a couple of honing stones to bring it back, and I've got a lovely, lovely smooth buttery edge to this, and it seems a strange thing to describe the edge of a blade as smooth and buttery, but you've ever achieved that with your straight razor, you will know exactly what I mean. So I can put my glasses back on now that I've done the sides of my face, my cheeks, and we can carry on as normal. So how are you doing today? I hope you're doing very well. It is a nice bright day where I am, thankfully. And I thought today I'd just pick up on a couple of questions that I was asked in the week. And Ray got in touch through the comments section, and he asked if I was using synthetics exclusively, and Ray tells me that he has a horsehair brush that he brings out once a week. So thanks, Ray, for asking that question, and it set me thinking that I'm not using synthetics exclusively these days, although if left to my own devices, that is what I tend to reach for first. I do really like all of my synthetics. I think they're just incredible brushes. Now, I've worked out that I like a brush that's easy to look after. So, you know, even with my badger hair brushes, although they take longer to dry than a synthetic, I find that they're quite easy to look after. I rinse them out after the shave, give them a good wash out after the shave, squeeze them and shake them, just leave them to dry, usually. If it is a badger hair brush that I'm using, in the winter I do tend to put it in the airing cupboard to dry where there's a little bit of warmth. And I have kind of worked out that I'm not so keen on my silver tip brushes. And this is why I've got this High Mountain White 2-band badger brush that I'm using of late. If I'm using a badger, this is the one that I'll pull out. I know I've said before, I've not used this one until fairly recently. And I really want to use it and see if it turns into an excellent brush, as I think it will. I like it already at the moment. I definitely prefer it to my silver tips at the moment. And the other brush that I've got is my boar bristle brush, my vintage rubber set. I like that very much. Now, in terms of horsehair brushes, I've only had two. And I just didn't get on with them. One was incredibly difficult to look after. It knotted every time I used it, right in the centre of the brush, and in the end, instead of being that lovely rounded shape, it was shaped the other way because the knots were pulling the middle of the brush down. I spent hours combing that brush, and in the end it just really got on my nerves because it was always knotted. Now, to be fair, at the time I was a face latherer, and I always did that with all of my brushes. Nowadays I'm much more of a painter and use the brush this way, so perhaps that horsehair brush would be much better used this way rather than squashing the middle of the knot. The next horsehair brush I had was a mix of mane and tail hair. One was more coarse than the other, and I believe it was the white hair that was more coarse in my brush, and every time I used it, it stabbed my face and actually pierced my skin, and I hated it. So that is my experience of horsehair shaving brushes. I've always meant to get another one, but I've been a bit reticent because of my experience with them. So if you have a horsehair brush that really suits you, let me know in the comments. And let me know how you use it as well. Are you a face latherer or not? And you know, maybe I can pick up another one and give it another try. They sound, or they seem to be, an excellent option for a cruelty-free brush, but I'm doubting that they perform as well as either a synthetic or a badger or a boar. But as I say, I have a very limited experience of using one. So perhaps we'll look at that again. Perhaps we'll give it another go, eh? What do you think? I don't think there are actually very many companies that make horsehair brushes. It'd be interesting to find out. Now this soap is making my face feel a little bit numb, particularly up here. What a shame, there's something in it just not quite getting on with me. Oh, got it. It's a beautiful soap, it's a really soft soap. I kind of knew I didn't have enough soap in my bowl, but because as I first put my lightly damped brush in, the soap just disappeared into the brush. It was only when I started adding water that the lather reappeared. So I am really, honestly, I'm down to the dregs here, but we've had enough for a shave. So I'm pleased with that. Sometimes it happens that way when you get a little sample pot, or you've used your sample a couple of times and you've only got a little bit left, and it's really, really nicely scented. This one is lovely. When I said it smells a little bit smoky, I don't think it does. It's more sort of musky or something like that. Very, very nice. But yeah, I'm definitely getting numbing. So we'll crack on with this. Now the next question I was asked was a difficult one, and it was asked by Yannick. Thank you, Yannick, for putting this to me. It's really made me think. Yannick asked, which modern razor is closest to the vintage Gillette Slim? Now that's a hard question, I think. I love the shave I get with either my Slim or my Fat Boy. I think they are a fantastic I'm doing the wrong thing here, I'm so busy talking. Yeah, I think they are a fantastic shave for me. Actually, I think they are the best adjustable razors, and out of the ones I've tried, let's put it that way, out of the ones I've tried. Now I've tried a few adjustable razors, and really it wasn't so very long ago that if you wanted to try an adjustable razor, the only option apart from the Gillette adjustables, excuse me, were the progress, Mercure Progress or the Mercure Future. Or something like a vintage Gibbs or Gibbs razor. And some of the adjustables I've used have been loaned, so I don't have them in my collection. And it's easier for me to say which razor isn't like a Slim, and that would be the Rex Ambassador. In terms of the other razors, I'm trying to remember if the Model T from Rockwell shaved like the Slim, and I can't remember, to be honest. I kind of have the feeling that it might have done, but it was such a long ago that I used it. It wouldn't be right for me to say one way or the other. It wouldn't be based on any truth, just sort of an inkling. But I know with the Model T, it's a huge razor in comparison. So I think that would sort of discount that razor because of the difference in size. It may be that something like a Parthenon is quite like the Slim. Anyway, the short answer is that I don't know, and but it's really given me food for thought, so to speak. I even caught my nose there. And maybe I'll have to look at some of the adjustables again and do a nice comparison with the Gillette adjustables. I quite like that idea because there are quite a few adjustables that I haven't used. And as I said, quite a few that I used a long time ago. So it would be really quite nice to revisit those shaves with the Model T, the Parthenon. I think there's is it a Vikings blade? I've never used one of those. Yeah, there's quite a few adjustables now that there never used to be. So I think maybe next year that'll be something to look at. That'll be quite good fun, I think. So thank you, Yannick, for putting that to me as well. That really made me think last night. I was sat for ages thinking about that. Now, that was a great shave today. And I don't feel there's any need for any, Alan. That's how nice it was. I was just saying earlier in a comment that to mine, I used to always say it was a great sense of achievement when I used a straight razor. Well, nowadays I'm getting a much nicer shave, and I'm feeling that more in the post shave. It feels, used to always feel a bit sore afterwards, a bit like I've taken the top layer of skin off. And nowadays I don't get that feeling so much. Most of my shaves are much nicer. So I've obviously improved along the way. Now I'm going to use my Proraso white today. I think I'm going to try some blue again. But Proraso white for today, the reason I'm using that is that the top notes for Creed Aventus include a little bit of apple, and there is a very, very, very light scent of apple in this wonderful balm. So that is what we have today, and I have had a very nice shave indeed. Thank you for being a part of it today, and I hope that question and answer was interesting. It's a new thing that I'm trying, and maybe we'll continue with that along the line. I'd appreciate it if you let me know what you think. Take care, guys. All the very best here. Bye bye now.